Zagada.
Hey.
With Aviva Home and Car Insurance,
I'm fine now.
questions.
So, hold on. Mr. Eazi, first, I ask you a question. So that Ghana, what we did, I don't expect come blow big like this.
Wait first, make I play my song first. What? You know, say as me, I be Alaba boy.
Oh my God!
I must shoot to my shot. Okay, let's see how far now. Body shape like Coca-Cola. Body shaped like Coca-Cola. First of all, I just want to say shout out to you, Ubi Franklin. You still owe me money. You don't talk, say I must collect my money.
Oh, besides, you want more go there?
May we go there?
So, guys, listen. Before we start this interview, me and
First
Mr. Eazi dey school for Ghana together.
Everybody go and stream. I no go give up on you. That's my new song I just dropped right now. And I'm dropping like a surprise EP. It's dropping like next week Friday. It's called One Day You'd Understand. I just want to drop all the songs within my archive. Just they drop and they go. You understand? How far now?
Welcome to the show.
God bless you, man. I don't see the team where you don't do. I say, Ubi just they bait people. Ubi.
You know, say,
you remember when I met you in Accra? God have mercy. People don't know, say I don't know you. Before even that time, you and D-Tunes, you and Iyanya, when you did showing Kaz Afro.
Yeah.
You remember?
Those are the first artists I managed, showing Kaz Afro.
Yes, now that time where they do parties for Kumasi. You know, we tried to do some business that didn't quite exactly work out. I don't get big for you long. This Ubi Lombo.
But you know,
shout out to everyone.
But you know, sir, I always say this to people that when we're in Ghana, the kind of music that you were putting out then, right? It sounded like within this one they do.
Yeah.
But I told people that I always say to people that Mr. Eazi's music, right, is what they call times and seasons. Your time will come.
Yeah.
And then it will happen. And I want to say, listen, bro, I'm really proud of you. You are one of the people I'm currently studying in the Nigerian entertainment industry.
This guy wants to watch me.
No, I didn't tell you. Easy. See, me, I don't talk, say, no big manism. Now, right now, if I need to learn from my gate man, teach me. Because now that Oga, now they cause us problem what we did. I want to say welcome to the show. And great job you are doing with your music. You know, great job you're doing with disrupting Africa. And I'm sure that a lot of people that are on the show today are going to learn a lot of things from you. So, quick one. Let's talk about the job you're doing with emPawa.
Yeah.
So, talk to us about emPawa.
Yeah, a lot of people like misunderstand, you know, what I'm trying to build with emPawa. So I feel like generally the entire music industry is going to a place where, you know, artists have more control over their life and artists have more control over their earnings and their path. And so, you know, the goal of emPawa is to be able to give artists economic and creative freedom. You know, economic freedom, which means the cocoa, which is the cash, and creative freedom, which means, you know, you can make whatever you want and drop whatever you want whenever you want, and just basically try to marry what is right and what is profitable, because sometimes what is profitable is not right, and sometimes what is right is not profitable in this business of music. So trying to marry both. And so emPawa is a label services company, actually the only label services company I know about that focuses only on African music. And what label, you know, we were talking yesterday, what label services really means is that, you know, you're your own label. So for instance, a label such as Triple MG can come to emPawa and say, hey, emPawa, offer me label services. And what we then do is we handle the music distribution for you. We handle your basically 360 rights administration. So we help you put out the record. We have PR, worldwide PR on lock. We have a very transparent system so you can distribute your music by yourself. And instead of asking for, hey, I want to see my logs, you see, a lot of things that cause problem with artists and label is that the artist will say, hey, you did not tell me how much I made, you did not show me your logs. But what we've developed at emPawa is that every artist, I think we've shared it with like 8 of the artists we represent, they can go online and just like logging on Facebook, they can log onto their profile and they can see how much money they're making, where they're making the money. So it's a tech-driven solution for African music to give African artists and labels economic and creative freedom, which means we don't only give you distribution services. We give distribution services, we do publishing administration, rights administration, we help you with the creative, with the PR, plus we can give you money. Of course, when we give you money, then the splits have to adjust because in the end of the day, we're a business, we're not a charity. And so when I wanted to start it, when the idea came to my mind in 2018, I was like, oh, let me do like Jay-Z and just reach out to big artists and say, hey, let's put our heads together and form a company just like Tidal. But I thought it was going to be hard to bring a lot of artists together because everyone has their own deals. And so I said, okay, you know what, let me just focus on 3 years. In 2015, nobody knew Mr. Eazi in Nigeria in 2015, maybe just a few people. So I'm like, okay, in the next 5 years, who will be the Mr. Eazis of the next 5 years? You know, and so for me, I said, okay, let me just start investing in new artists. And so what we did in 2018 was I announced that, hey, I'm giving 300K USD to 100 artists. And so what we did was we gave grants. And so a grant really means that it's non-recoupable to 100 artists across Africa, across like 11 countries. And so using like the VC model so we picked 100 artists. From those 100 artists, we then selected 10. We took those 10 to South Africa for a masterclass, which is like an incubator camp, watching them. Some made it, some didn't make it. And from that 10, we then selected 2 we got into business with, which is Joe Boy and Jedorobi. And so, you know, I don't need to talk a lot about Joe Boy's success. It's been self-evident. And Jedorobi put out one of the biggest dancehall songs in Ghana last year, and he's going to put out an EP on the 15th of June. So you guys go check out Jedorobi, J.Derobi. And beyond working with, so at least I've shown that, this model works. This model works. Like, you can invest in artists, you could give some grants, and then you could invest moving on with the others. And, you could look back and say, hey, let's work on this deal. Now you've made your money back. Now we've recouped on your investment. So it's no more a risk. So let's look back at your deal and say, hey, how can we negotiate a deal in the way that you'll be happy? You'll be happy. You get the money you want. You get the financial freedom you want. You get the creative freedom you want. And we do all the label services for you. So we're not just going to be working with emerging artists, but we're going to be working with, but we're very picky. We're going to be working with labels, and what we just do is label services. And label services really means, like I said before, rights management, create A&R, distribution, and we give you a platform where you can see the money they make. And we're still learning, we're still iterating, but it's tech. It's like the merger of tech and creativity. So emPawa is not just for emerging artists. We did some work with Peruzzi, for instance, and I could see a lot of people say, why is emPawa is for emerging artists? Why are you working with Peruzzi? No, we're not just for emerging artists. It's business. 2 artists together, just like Jay-Z, they do business with Kanye, and they do business with Beyonce. It's the same way we're doing those label services, and it's been interesting to watch. And we're basically disrupting. very like you don't have to do a deal where you boss the artist for the rest of his life. And so when I'm doing deals, I'm like, oh, we Mr. Eazi agreed to this deal. Within the deal, I'm having problem with, we have challenges with the artist. And instead of I go back to the artist and say, okay, why do you have a problem with this deal? Because of this. Okay, what can we tweak? Iterate the model. Because in the end, I'd rather have 10 labels. For instance, Joe Boy can have Joe Boy Entertainment, but emPawa does label services for Joe Boy Entertainment. Then there's Triple MG. Then there's another label. Then there's Z label. At the end, I'm just collecting my fixed percentage and rendering those services. Boom. In the end of the day, if I can service 5 artists that make $1 million each, and 20% comes back to emPawa, we've made $1 million. Plus, we have these artists we're in business with, and we grow the company. So that's the kind of product emPawa really is. And of course, we have the first YouTube page in Africa that has artists from across Africa. So now the emPawa YouTube in 1 year has grown to over 500,000 subscribers just on emerging artists. And so in July, we're opening it up so you can now pay to get on the platform. And what we're doing is we're building this YouTube page. All the TV stations right now for music, they segregate music from Africa. So there's Miziki that shows you only East African content. And then there's the Francophone feed is different from the Niger feed, is different from the Ghana feed, but we're making one channel that shows one YouTube channel where you could see everything, and then fan bases can crisscross at the point of interjection, because at the end, when you build, wherever there's value, there's profit. So if you build value, you will ultimately find profit. So right now, we're just focused on building value. Don't forget to go stream. I know go give up on you. New record out, banging records. Like that.
I know you as Tosin, right? That's your real name.
Ubi Lombo.
Now
what thing will they call you be that? Ubi Lombo.
I want to tell you something, right?
Yeah.
In my years of doing music, I've been very proud of a lot of artists, and you're one of them. Coro De Bello is one of them. I'm not saying proud in terms of what you have done, in terms of the what you have done. I'm not saying proud in terms of what you have done with music and how much you perform music. No.
Yeah.
Proud in terms of how you have been able to understand the music business and change it around. Now, in Africa, a lot of our Nigerian artists especially, they sit down complaining, forgetting that they have the attention to use what they have to create it into more revenue streams and income, rather than fighting and wanting to leave record label, or putting structures in place.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I've been studying you, let me give you an expo. I've been studying you for a long time. It's over the last the last 2.5 years. I've been studying you.
If you just call me, tell me, say make I can't train you, I go charge you.
I'm ready, bro. I see. Me, I know they do big boy again. No? If there's a place to learn, they go there.
Straight.
Do you understand? I remember when we were in Ghana, you didn't know artists in the industry. Now me go call say Alpha.
Yeah.
I need this. Now you've gotten to a point where we say now you get even more access to artists past yourself.
What?
So you see, there's a thing that thing teaches you. It teaches you that in life, now nobody who first reach there. Now, the person where fit sit down, understand the mistakes where the industry don't do, enter there. Now, I want to tell you something. When you're investing in artists, right? Let's say record labels.
Yeah.
Because of how unstructured for a better better word to use, our industry is. Are you never scared that an artist might break a contract with his label that will affect the relationship between you and the label and your investment?
That's a very, very good point you've raised. And which is why, like, I've made emPawa very bespoke. So if you see, I've not come in there and we're not just working with everybody. It's very bespoke. Like, I have the technology to roll out a distribution platform that everybody, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can just sign up to. But no, I've said no, let's be bespoke. Let's just handle a few people. Quality over quantity. And so when you as a label like Triple MG, remember when we were talking yesterday, it was the first time we had spoken maybe since Ghana.
No, we've seen ourselves a couple of times, but
yeah,
that's the first time we're actually having proper conversation.
You know, there's talking and there's speaking. There's a difference between talking and speaking.
Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah,
we've talked, but we've not spoken.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So this was the first time we're having a conversation, like back and forth in a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I've had my we've done business together, and you know, I have my opinion on who I think Ubi Franklin is based on my experiences. Right. But we're speaking yesterday, and I was telling you when we're speaking, I'm like, before I do a deal with a label, I have to see the contract the artist has with the label. And so if the contract, I think, is not, you know, is not proper, of course, the artist is going to have a problem with it, bro. Do you understand?
Okay, when so you pick up the contract, you pick up the artist contract. Sorry to cut you.
I pick up the artist contract
and look into the things that even you, from an artist point of view, you might not like.
Because I'm lucky, I'm unique in the sense that I'm an artist and I'm an entrepreneur. So I'm an investor and I'm an artist. Now, whatever deal, I've been independent. I came into the game 2016, 22nd July. That's the day I decided that, hey, I'm going to do music. So I came into the game 4 years ago, right? July 22nd will make it 4 years, right? And so I'm sitting on both seats, and it's like, okay, Eazi, can you take this deal if you're offered this deal? If I cannot take the deal, I'm always having the call with my lawyer, and I'm like, hey, I think we should change this deal. And I'm talking to my accountant, and the accountant is saying, hey, Eazi, I think we should tweak it, because if you do this deal this way, even though it sounds like the right thing to do, it's not the profitable thing to do. And so we've got to make sure the business is profitable. So maybe let's do it like this. But in the end, it's about finding common ground such that the artist is happy. Because at the end of the day, let me just say this. At the end of the day, a lot of artists don't want to be involved in uploading their songs, picking artwork, putting the song up, looking at the contract with the lawyer, deciding marketing plan, rollout plan, execution. A lot of artists don't want to be involved in that. I'm one of the few artists that excites me. That's exciting for me because I'm an engineer, right? And I'm a businessman. So that excites me. I've always been involved in that. I've always made my decisions for my career by myself. You know, but a lot of artists do not like to do that because their brain is very creative, which is perfect. And so that's why you need like a team. You need a manager to help you with all of that. Now, if me, emPawa Africa, as a label services company, if we're doing all your rollout plan for you, we're doing your pitching for you with the DSPs, we're doing your marketing, we're doing your PR, we're lining up interviews for you, we're distributing the record, and in the end, we're taking 20% or 30%, how much would you have paid for those services? How much would you have paid for these services? At least your manager will take between 10 to 15% or 10 to 20%. And then we're going to help you manage your bookings. We're going to help you distribute your music. We're going to come up with a rollout plan for you. We have PR in the US, in the UK, tested and proven. I'm a living testimony. Joe Boy is a living testimony. Guilty is a living testimony. We have A&R. We'll do A&R to you. You can see Guilty produced 3 records. And emPawa producer produced 3 records on Beyonce's The Gift album. I was on 2 records on Beyonce. I've done 2 songs with J Balvin. You have we worked on getting Killer Tunes, for instance. Killer Tunes produced a song on the #1 album in Italy. So we have tested and proven, and we're saying for all of that we collect a fixed fee, 20 to 30%. You're going to spend more than that if you went to get a manager, then you went to get a PR, then you went to get a radio plugger, then you're going to spend more than that. But because we are doing it at scale, we can give you a deal where you'll be happy with. So any artist, whether you're a new, once we can do business with you, we make sure the deal is good, is mutually beneficial. So before I get into a deal, before emPawa gets into a deal with a label, we're going to have to look at the contract you've given the label, because in the end, emPawa is more valuable than any one artist. We're not going to make our business model crash because of a problem with one artist. I'm trying to build the biggest brand in Africa, one of the biggest brands in the world. So I have to look at the contract you've done with that artist. If you've done a contract where you're taking 80% and the artist is getting 20%, I tell you for free, you cannot get into contract with emPawa. Straight up.
Okay, so, you know,
Be like say you don't confuse. Ubi,
you see, you know what? You know, when you've been studying what the model of what somebody is doing, and then you have the person in front of you talking, so it kind of ticks the boxes in the kind of the things that you've been looking at. So our industry, right?
Yeah.
Getting the right structure, systems, and partnership, how would that benefit emPawa?
Getting the right system. I mean, emPawa is...
Our industry being structured,
yeah.
Right? Getting the right things that, like we have the right partnership, the right systems, the right structures that work. How would that benefit you as emPawa?
I mean, it's not just going to benefit emPawa. It's going to benefit everybody in the ecosystem. The producers who produce all Joe Boy records, go and ask them. They've signed contracts. They have a percentage they earn. They earn from the revenue of all the songs they produce for Joe Boy. They have their publishing on all the songs they produce for Joe Boy. Jules, who produced a lot, who basically was so instrumental in helping me launch my career. It was a collaboration. He has, I don't know if I want to say this here, but I might as well say it. Jules has 15% on the royalties. My producer, Jules, has 15% on the songs he produced for me. How many producers in our industry can boast of saying they have a percentage? You see, me and E. Kelly, we dey waka like this. E. Kelly has grown from producing records for me to becoming the A&R, the head of production for emPawa, and now he's managing these young producers, super producers like Dara, like KO, because in the end, it's about building an ecosystem. So when the right structures are in place, it's not just gonna affect emPawa, it's gonna affect everybody, from the producers to the video directors to the songwriters. I've worked with 2 songwriters in my career. Anybody that said Pim, you were in the studio, you said Pim in the song, your name is there. You're getting some form of revenue or some form of publishing. So building the ecosystem is not just going to affect me, it's going to affect everybody positively. And now we we're not waiting for people to build the ecosystem. We're not waiting for investors to come. When an investor comes and buys your label and then now has to influence the kind of deals you give to artists, in the end, you're going to have to make compromises. So we're saying at emPawa, we're saying, you know what, we're going to build this thing by ourselves. We're going to build the technology by ourselves. I'm saying, hey, artists keep on asking, hey, what's my log? How much did I make? How much I make from distribution? Send me my log. No, forget all of that. We're going to build a tech-driven platform where an artist can just log in and see their entire log. So this one, no be say, somebody, they can't tell you, say, you make 50K. You can't say, how I take make 50K? Now 100K I make. How you want to tell me, say, this my hit song, only make 50K? No, Baba, you are seeing the logo. You are seeing as you are making the money. This one, no be say, come chop. This one, I say, I see I'm just like logging into Facebook. You know, so I think that's what the industry needs. And once you have the right structures in place, it's going to be very easy to access finance. The reason why we as an industry, I believe, cannot access finance is that we don't have breadcrumbs. If you don't have breadcrumbs, how do you want to access finance? When you go and sit with a finance organization, you won't tell the finance organization, say, I guess song with Nicki Minaj. I guess song with this person. I guess song with Whiskey. So what? You're going to have to show financial breadcrumbs. You're going to have to show that, hey, this is how much we invested. This is how much over this time. This is how much we've made. And it's visible. And so you can access finance. You can say, and you know the beautiful thing about music. The beautiful thing about music is that IP, intellectual property, is a very unique asset class. If you build a house, fire fee burn the house. Riot fee happen, they just destroy the house. The area can become a bad area. In fact, the value based on the area, the value of the house can drop, but intellectual property keeps rising. In fact, if you invest in an artist and the IP is doing well, if the artist die, research has shown that the value of that IP is going to rise at least 7x on that week of the artist death. So you sign artists, the artist has then started doing very well. You have equity. You're looking at it, you have equity in, you have equity in the IP, and then the artist dies. What happens? Boom. The value rises up. In that 1 week, you can even sell it for 7x. Wizkid's first album. Do you know what value that is? If you wanted to sell the album now, do you know what the valuation would be? So that's why we need structures and system. And for us at emPawa, we're like, hey, we're going to build it up. Because wherever there's value, there's profit.
Okay, Mr. Eazi, I'm going to have you, we're having a conference, the Nigerian Music Business Conference. And you are going to be a keynote, you are going to deliver a keynote address at that conference.
Ubi, if I go come that conference, first of all, you gas play, I know go give up of you.
Okay, so now I want more
16 times.
play that your song. Go play that your song.
Then you gas shout Indaboski Bahose 12.5 times.
Play your song.
Make I play my song.
Once you play your song, we'll continue the interview. Because
at this point, we have to take a commercial break.
Let's take a commercial break.
I'll say you hear the song.
But your body puts me on the spot. Before another person to come take your love. Oh, I must shoot you my shot. Sweet me like monster. Body shape like coca. The way you do this, so you must follow me. Oh, sweet me like monster.
Make I not play the full song. Because if I play the full song, they're not going to get waiting to stream again. But speaking about the ecosystem, for instance, there's the guy who makes all these visualizers. His name is Poker. Now, I met him. I got to know about Poker He's a Ghanaian boy. I got to know about poker via Jules, right? And so at the time I started working with poker, maybe he was charging maybe $100 or $200 for visualizers. Now we started using those visualizers. Those visualizers have become a trend. Guess how much poker charges for visualizer now?
$1,000.
$3,000.
Wow.
He gives me internal discounts for $1,500 per visualizer. Poker did visualizer for Joe Boy. It's 30 million views, 20 million views, 15 million views, more than it will do for your video. So setting structures in place does not just affect the artist or the record label, but it affects the entire ecosystem and makes it more valuable. And if we don't invest, other people are going to invest. And what's going to happen is other people are going to build the structure. Everybody is happy when they say, hey, this label has come to Africa. Oh, this person is investing this. Hey, this VC company is investing it. But at the end, what is happening? What's going to happen is that other people are going to build the structures and they're going to sell the structures back to us. If you look at oil, cobalt, if you look at natural resources, you'd see that in Africa, Africa produces a lot of natural resources, but less than 10% stays in Africa. And even the 10% that stays in Africa, it is shared amongst a certain few. And then there's no infrastructure. So you have a place that produces gold, but the village where all the gold they come from, they don't get lights, they don't get school, they don't get toilets. The village where the oil is coming from, they don't get school, they don't get hospital, they don't get university. Why? Because it's called capital flight. So what is happening is you've mined in a certain region, you've generated revenue, the revenue has gone abroad, the remaining 10% that sits in the country has gone to the oligarchs, and at the end of the day, the community does not benefit. And at the end of the day, that's what leads to things like, armed robbery, crime, and all the ills. So we have to be careful and learn from hip hop, learn from reggae, learn from the people above us. Don't be like, that's why I always, every time I'm talking, I'm always giving reference to the band. I remember when I wanted to sign, at some point, I wanted to sign this huge deal, big money deal. And I called the band. I say, yo, the band, Baba, I want to sign this deal, but I know you signed this deal for Oliver Twist. I know you charted in the UK. I know they gave you an advance. What can you tell me? And the band told me A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, up to Z. And after the call, I called back the label. I say, yo, chairman, I don't want that deal again. This is exactly what I want. So when you develop structures in the ecosystem, you don't just affect yourself as a business. It's not just emPawa that's going to gain. It's the entire ecosystem. Managers are going to gain. People who do, right now, poker cannot handle all the visualizers for emPawa. So the other day, we got 5 new people from Nigeria, from Zambia, from Kenya, to help us to start doing visualizers. What does that mean? That means a sector has begun.
Has been created.
An animation sector has started. Are you getting it? I've been, in case poker is watching, I've been begging poker, please give me shares in your company. Because the other day, I hope people can know hear this. The other day, I was talking to J Balvin, and I was like, yo, J Balvin, I see all this your visualizers, all this your animations. How much did it cost? I want to do this level. J Balvin said, no worry, don't worry. I'm going to introduce you to the person. As he introduced me to the person, I was chatting with the person. I said, yes, I want to do visualizers for my album. How much? The guy just tell me $500,000. I said, hey! I say, okay, very beautiful. I'm going to call you back. I'm going to call you. It sounds good. Immediately, I call Poker. I say, Poker, can you see what I'm talking about? Do you know that this your sector of creating animations is $1 million sector? Because imagine, say, that guy, they charge me $500,000. In company, if he gets like 20 clients in a year, you could do 2D, you can do 3D visualizers. You could, in this time where Corona day, where people no fit come out, People know if you go shoot video. What's happening? Visualizers. My new song, I know go give up on you. What is it? Visualizer. That's what people are watching. So we need to, these structures are important, not just for emPawa. They're important for everybody. You feel me?
See, I won't even lie to you, man. No, nothing. But trust me, you have this night. I'm sure there are a lot of people that will agree with me that you don't. You know, I have Funny Bonnie, I have Don Jazzy here, DJ Jimmy Jacks, everybody's in the building. T-Bills is here, Foza, Audu Mekori, Udwak. You know, we have a lot of people here that agree with everything you're saying. You know the funny thing, eh?
Yeah.
In life, don't just come and bullshit by just talking.
Say again?
I say in life, people come and talk. They just bullshit us by talking. But me, everything you're saying on this IG Live, I've seen it. I've been studying it. Not with me pick phone call you yesterday.
Yeah. Remember,
you
say I don't want to do live.
Yeah, you changed your WhatsApp number recently from Nigerian number to your London number. So I don't forget the number. So I can't hear me say, guy, give me your number. Because waiting I see now, I need to tap into that blessing, because I'm saying it on IG Live, right? There's no disrespect. Yeah, but someone say, Georgia say, when we were telling you to call him the last time, you don't hear. So trust me, these are things I've been looking at, and I've been watching what you're doing. Wow. I've been watching what a lot of people are doing around the world, because see, we need to learn. There's no pride anymore. If we all have to understand, you know, this is what we've been discussing on this show. How can we build this system, structure? System, structure, partnerships. So if a label that's already doing well, so you know, I was telling you yesterday, I was like, there are some artists in Nigeria that have been big before, right? But they are currently struggling now because they don't have the right label structure to help them push this thing. I was like, you know what? Let's do this. You know, we're having that conversation. And it makes sense because it's you and I that's talking about it. But you get this artist where you go meet. Yeah? You get artists where you go meet now. Then say, see, this structure, because now Mr. Eazi, they go, see, that's the African mentality, and that's what kills us. I'll tell you that, see, bro, you be inspiration, give person like me. Yeah. I don't forget, say, that time for Ghana, you understand? You be my boy. But now you be my
I be your boy. You don't say me and you, we still get our fights.
No, we will fight that one later.
We go fight
you
that
don't one. You don't tell me say you go withdraw the money from source.
That money I go withdraw from source. So that my mind go clear. See, okay, me and Ubi now,
you go withdraw the money from source.
Withdraw from source.
From source, yeah. So for me, this is something that's very important for our industry. And one thing I want you to do for the Nigerian Music Business conference that we're having, it's going to be on IG Live, it's going to be on Zoom, YouTube, and then we're going to premiere it live on Hip TV and Pop Central on here in Nigeria.
We'll come partner with emPawa. Make we do this thing together.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Call me. Let's do this.
Don't worry. See, phone there. I will call you. Don't worry.
Let's do this together. But because like you were saying, it's like it's about time we came together, shared information, gain from the information. I know how many times
I'm gaining from this thing.
Bro, let me tell you, there was one time I went to when I was doing my last US tour last year. I started going to some places and I go they hear the video song. I go they hear Call If they play. They say for Yankee. They say oh man. Myself, I believe myself. I say my song too bad now. The video song bad, but my song too bad. So I won't hear my song they play for this chorus. You know what I did? I DM Davido. I say, Davido, how far now? Who they help you run this your package? Come introduce me to this person. And Davido said, hey, this is the person running my package. It's this company that is running my package. I call I call Afrobeat. Shout out to Afrobeat. I just everywhere they say, "Oh, are you an Afrobeat artist? Okay, do you know Joanna?" I say, "Yeah, I know Joanna." All of them they say, "Oh yeah, we have Afrobeat." They play Joanna. I message, go and ask Afrobeat. I message Afrobeat. Who they run your radio promo for this Yankee? Afrobeat say, now this guy, he sent me the guy's number. I called the guy. Building. So it's high time like we start sharing information, because I might have signed a bad deal, but if I don't share it with you, you're gonna go back and make the same mistake. So that sharing of information is good. Labels have to build a transparent system. I'm still building, emPawa is still building. You have to build a transparent system. Labels have to mix VC type funding, VC type funding where you invest for equity. You have to think about it that, you're investing for equity. You want to be in business with the artist for the long run, not the short run. And you have to put it at the back of your head that you're building an African ecosystem, which is more important than your label. That's what I keep saying. I speak to my staff. I'm like, hey, and you know what it is now? I've even seen that, hey, I've been Mr. Eazi, I still got to put out music. So what have I done? Hire the right staff. So now I don't even run emPawa. I'm just sitting as president of emPawa. People, they run the company, and they get on call with them. Because in the end, the value is, it goes beyond you. It's the ecosystem. And as you're doing it for the ecosystem, remember what I said. Wherever there is value, there is profit. Wherever there is value, there is profit.
There's something I want you to repeat again. You said intellectual property is a unique what?
Intellectual property is a unique asset class. Is a unique asset class in the sense that the asset class exists in perpetuality. Means that, and unlike other asset class, look, in this corona time, what are people doing? They're streaming. I dey watch Netflix, like say I don't watch videos past anything. People are still streaming music. People are still going on TikTok and Thriller, and people are playing music, because at the end of the day, there's so much madness in this world, and music brings healing, right? So what's happening to music in this time? Streaming is going up. What does that show you? That shows you the viability of the asset class that is music. Are you getting what I'm saying? Right now, we're working on, right now, there's something I'm working on I cannot even say, but very soon, I'm going to drop something. We at emPawa, we're going to drop something into the industry where we are marrying VC type investments. We're like, yo, fuck the label structure. Let's try and marry, equity type with debt. So you marry equity type financing with debt financing. You find a middle ground there. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Right, Antoine.
You get. That's why I said in my song, them know they propose for club, but your body puts me on the spot. Before another person go come take your love, I must to shoot my shot. Are you getting what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Tosin, listen. Tosin, see, you know one thing, you might not understand, is it's 2 minutes to 1 a.m. here in Nigeria, but you see there are people
same time.
Yeah. So there are people on IG watching and learning, and you're also adding a lot.
Ubi, you supposed to see. Ubi, I never do show. You supposed to send me money for this live where they do, because
nobody talks everything now from source. You go come out and now.
Okay, I will come out from source.
From source.
Okay, no wala. Continue.
All right. So my next question to you is, because you kind of used the question I asked you about structure to answer my third question, which was about we need do you think we need investment in our industry, or should investors be scared of coming to our industry because of we not properly structured the industry?
So I'm going to tell you the truth. It is very scary to invest in a sector that has no structure. Even betting. If you go betpower.com right now, you go do betting. Structure day.
Hold on. emPawa is your betting company?
No, it's not my betting company. I'll be brand ambassador.
Okay.
If you go betPawa right now to go bet, structure day. So if you want to invest in the gaming sector, there's structure because there's a way to collect payments. There's regulation. There's the way to repatriation of funds is there. There's guarantee. There's a safety net. So now, how are you gonna invest? So my mama, she no like kalo. Do you understand? My mom, she doesn't like betting. My mom is against all forms of betting. Shout out to my mom. And so my mom thinks one of the most irresponsible things you might be able to do is go and bet, but there's structure. So that means betting is still kind of responsible because there's a structure, right? Think about it. But in an industry where there's no structure, it is equivalent to just carrying your money and throwing it into the air and thinking that something is going to come back. So yes, there's the need for investment. If you think about it, if you think about the Facebooks, just think about it, like the Facebooks, the Snapchat. For a long time, Snapchat was not making Twitter, for instance, for a long time, Twitter was not making money, was not profitable. A lot of tech companies are not, for a long time, they're not profitable. But what's happening? As the user base is increasing, the value of the business is what? Increasing. Right? So now, how are you going to be able to do business? The only way you can do business and grow the industry is by having cash for investment and then innovation. So if you have cash and innovation, you can do things at parallel. So yes, indeed, the industry needs investment, because if the industry does not, if we don't come up with investment, what's going to happen is that money is going to come from somewhere else, my brother. Money is going to come from somewhere. I don't have any problem with the labels. I work with the labels. I work with them. And they pay me money. I thank God. God bless all the labels. Glory be to God in the highest. Amen. Them know they propose for club, but your body put me on the spot. You see, I love the labels, but at the end of the day, let me give you an example. Take South Korea for instance. In South Korea, the government saw that, hey, music these musicians are tourism ambassadors, and so the government invested in K-pop. Right now, K-pop is one of the biggest music scenes in the world. Totally, those K-pop bands, they are the biggest bands in the world. But guess what? It all goes back to the government. Right now, as a label, if you want to come into K-pop, or if you want to go, for instance, when streaming platform, when Spotify wanted to go into China, I'm digressing. When Spotify wanted to go into China, what did they do? They partnered with a local music streaming platform. The biggest music streaming platform in the Middle East is not Apple Music or Spotify, it's Angami. It's local. The biggest streaming platform in India is not Apple or Spotify, it's local. The biggest music platform in China is not Apple or Spotify, it's local. So if we build local platforms, local labels, local lawyers, local music video directors, shout out to TG, local influencer platforms, local animations companies, local labels, what's going to be happening is equity conversations. I keep on saying this. All of us, we they boast, say, oh, then pay me 50K, then pay me 100K, then pay me so million. We have to move from talent for hire to equity conversations.
We have to move from talent for hire.
From talent for hire to equity conversations. Don't come and call me if you want to build an African festival that has African artists. You're building it on me. You're building it on me. You're building it on Whiskey. You're building it on Burna Boy. You're building it on Davido. Oh boy, no go tell me say you go pay me 60K, 70K. I want equity conversation because we are the ones building it. We are the culture. So Africa is in a very unique place, especially Nigeria, because we are the heartbeat of it all. We need equity conversation.
So I was having a conversation with somebody, Mr. Eazi, and they said, why does Mr. Eazi organize his own tour?
Yeah. And
I said to them that if you go and ask people that were in Ghana, they'll tell you Mr. Eazi has been a show promoter right from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's what I knew Mr. Eazi as a show promoter. So Mr. Eazi can decide to do his tour. He knows everything that happens with doing tours. You understand? And the guy was like, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah." I said, we go way back in Ghana when we used to go to school in Ghana. So I know Mr. Eazi does his own shows. So now those experiences from doing your own shows have now appeared in for doing your own tour. You can sit down, plan your tour. So it's easy for you to now have these equity conversations with people that are going to do festivals, knowing that, hey, listen, this is our festival. If it's Mr. Eazi, you want Whiskey, you want Davido, you want Burna Boy, with Savage, let's have an equity conversation.
Yeah.
Or what's the percentage? So that's why I had to put down this thing, because you said we have to move from talent for hire to equity conversations.
Equity conversations.
So
for instance, I have Dirty Rave. I've built Dirty Rave. All my career, I've been putting my money back into the music. I've been putting 90% into the music. I've been putting 90% back into building an ecosystem, my ecosystem. And so in the future, God willing, inshallah, somebody will come and meet me and say, hey, I see the value you've built. I see the ecosystem you've built. I want to invest. So all that, maybe I could have gotten, $3 million advance. Maybe I could have gotten 100 naira advance. But if I wait a little, and that's up to you in the end, if I wait a little, it's going to be more. That money is just going to be for a small chunk of equity. And we've seen Audu do that. We've seen Don Jazzy do that. We've seen local platforms like there's Bedu, for instance. There's a streaming platform called Bedu, for instance, which is a local platform. There's, you can see these things happening. And that's what I've been interested in. I built Dirty Rave. We've been doing Dirty Rave for 3 years, right? We've been doing Dirty Rave Nigeria, Ghana for 3 years. Now I have my own venue. emPawa has a venue. Like, we have an entire venue in Accra where we do our own festival. So we're not going to rent. Nobody say we go rent a hotel to do show. We get our own venue where other people they can't rent. That's what I mean by building the infrastructure, ecosystem. Them know they propose for club. Your body puts me on the spot. Before another person go come take your love, I must to shoot my shot. Go download, I know go give up on you. Brand new song.
Well, it's easy. I think we basically discussed most of the things I have in my questions. But one question I was going to ask you, but I think I need to let you go, because we'll do trust me, because we need to talk immediately about the conference, because a lot of things you're saying here, people need to go and tell others that Mr. Eazi did a great job this night, and they need to come and watch Mr. Eazi on the Nigerian Music Business Conference, powered by emPawa.
Yo, bro, let's do this thing. Let's do this thing together. It's very important that, we all come together as an industry and realize that the competition is not against me and you. It's not Mr. Eazi versus Ubi Franklin. It's not emPawa.
Repeat that word again.
the
competition is not between me.
The competition is not between me and you. It's not emPawa versus Triple MG. It is not Maven versus Starboy.
Chocolate City or Starboy or
It's
DMW.
not Chocolate City versus DMW. It is we against the world. Do you understand? We need to be having conversations like Omona na 6 million I tell them. Now 7 million I tell them. So that even if somebody go and slide, the person is still going to collect more money. Think about it. Think about it. So the competition is not between you and I. Do you know what will happen if emPawa and say emPawa Triple MG or emPawa and Maven, if we went together to go meet TikTok and we say, hey, TikTok, you want to penetrate, or let's say we go meet Triller. I love Triller. Triller is one of my favorite platforms. I see it on Jazzy. They like all these apps. If Maven and emPawa went to meet Triller and we said, hey, Triller, we see that you want to get into Africa. You need to do a deal with us. This is going to be the terms of the deal. This is how much you're going to pay. Do you know the value we're gonna bring? Do you know how much money we go share? Are you seeing this thing? Are you seeing what I'm saying? Do you know what will happen when like you can see Drake touring with Future? Drake and Future at their peak touring together. You can see. Do you know what that means? If Joe Boy is an African pop star. He has toured in over 12 countries. Joe Boy has toured in some places where I never reached. Joe Boy, stubborn boy. Do you know what will happen when Joe Boy and Rema say, hey, we are doing an African tour. We are doing 20 universities in Africa, just Africa. We walk into MTN and we say, hey, Joe Boy.
So, Mr. Eazi, we're about to get
Rema
cut off because we've hit.
Are doing a tour.
We're about to get cut off because we've hit our 1 hour mark. I'll restart the live, guys.
That means your money don't finish, you.
No. Come back on, please, guys. Let me restart this.
Live.
All right, we're live. We're back.
Watch something here. Come on, watch something here. No, turn. Watch what is going to happen here. Just watch. Listen. Mm-hmm. Watch. Mm-hmm. Have you seen how fast this was? You've seen the speed, right? Mm-hmm. Just watch the speed. Watch. You watching the speed?
I know go give up on you. I know go give up on you.
Keep going, bro.
I know go give up on you. I know go give up on you.
You know, I was talking about collaboration. Do you know what that would mean if, you know, there's Joe Boy has his fan base, for instance, and Joe Boy's fan base is very unique fan base, right? Rema has his fan base. Rema's fan base is a very unique fan base. Now, there are some people who listen to Rema and say, oh, Rema is our favorite artist. And then there's some people who listen to Joe Boy and say, hey, Joe Boy is our favorite artist. What will happen when Joe Boy and Rema say, hey, you know what, we want to tour Africa on our own? It doesn't make financial sense to go to 20 African cities and tour universities. But that right there is their primary target. That's their primary fan base. Up until now, there's no African artists that have performed in 52 countries. I stand to be corrected. I don't know any that have had a proper tour of Africa. I'm not, forget about, say, Yankee, UK. Proper tour of Africa. Now, we might not be financially, I've done some tours. There's some tours that are not financially rewarding. Not be everybody where you see, say, hey, I sell out this place, I sell out this place. You feel sell out, you don't make money, or your pocket no sell out.
Word.
Your pocket cave in.
He did like, don't forget, he did like December last year. A lot of shows what they do for a hotel. It flop.
Do you
It
understand?
flop heavy.
Do you understand? No be say the one where you go pack people.
Don't just say
tickets.
Don't just say
Now
the
them go
closest.
full your concert. You go say, yeah, I sold out. No, it might not be
Don't just say the
economically.
closest.
It might not be
is Davido.
economically viable for him to do that, for them to do that individually. But are you telling me that if Rema and Joe Boy came together, and of course Don Eazi, the only Don Jazzy, I respect you, but Don Eazi, I know Don Jazzy because he said Don Baba J, so me I know add the Baba for my own.
They just go Don Eazi.
Just
Don Eazi.
If Don Eazi say, ha, I'm a war, I'm a fight, I'm in the Boski, Bahose. If we went on tour together, I bring my fan base. Joe Boy bring his fan base. Don Jazzy bring his. Rema bring his. We walk into any brand that wants to reach the demography of university students in Africa. We say, hey, chairman, we're going on a tour. We're doing 20 universities across Africa. This is how much we want you to pay. Bro, they're going to be writing checks. And of course, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be telling Don Jazzy, you na Baba, so you no suppose do this side. Now me suppose organize everything. No worry, just go there your office. Make I organize everything for you. Not only would we get financial benefit, we're going to elevate, because guess what's going to happen? Other kids are going to be watching, and the next kids are going to be collaborating, and people are going to go on those same tours.
Can I ask you a question about collaboration?
Feel free.
With emPawa,
yeah.
What if you get a call from Whiskey, Davido, Don Jazzy, Made Music,
yeah,
Audu, Chocolate City, name them, Kenny's Music, and say, hey, Eazi, we see what you're building.
Yeah.
We want to come together and create partnerships.
Yeah.
Will you be open to doing that?
Bro, why not? I said it at the beginning of this conversation that emPawa is not a record label. emPawa is a label services organization. We provide label services and rights management built on tech. So we are ready to support anybody's systems. We are ready to work with anybody. At the end of the day, if people want to do business, we go sit down and say, okay, how the business structure go work. If it makes sense, we go do them. If it don't make sense, we say, oh, it doesn't make sense now, so let's go back to our drawing board. Maybe we do it in future. Definitely, we are ready for synergy. Like I said, we put out, everybody knows the bad guy, one of the most talented people I know, Peruzzi. emPawa and Peruzzi worked. Is Peruzzi signed to emPawa? No. Well, we're collaborating. We're providing services. We're working together.
So one of the sessions we had like this on the industry conversation, and I purposely put you the last for today because I know for a fact that our conversation is not going to just be a one-off conversation. So,
wait, I just see my Oga for here. Chidi.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you a question with him. Chidi. So Chidi owns UdoX.
Yeah.
Which is a streaming platform.
Yeah.
And I don't think in our industry we are giving Chidi the kind of support we need to give him because of what he's building currently. Mm-hmm. If you look at what UdoX has, I think in Nigeria right now, that's one of the apps in Africa right now. That's like one of the best apps I've seen, like that's owned by us out here, right in Nigeria. So, don't you think that someone like Chidi should maybe sit down, have a meeting with Mr. Eazi, Don Jazzy, Chocolate City, DMW, Starboy, and say, hey, listen, come and take a stake.
The funniest
Let's build
thing,
this thing.
I don't know if Chidi want me to go too deep into that. I'm not gonna like talk about Chidi's business because some things maybe NDA, some things he might have told me just in confidence. But Chidi is very progressive, and like years ago when Chidi contacted me, Chidi is like, yo, this is what I'm building. And Chidi, we talk every time. The only problem I have with Chidi is that Chidi know they share money come my way.
So
now, audio,
Udra just said something. He said, I agree, UdoX is progressive but lacks the support. So we need to do something.
No, definitely. Like, for instance, when
No, see,
like,
trust me.
when I
can
put
sit
out
down
doing,
and let's have a meeting. See,
no, when I put out doing, for instance, when I put out doing, I contacted Chidi. Chidi gave me billboards. They gave me support. Doing is a smash hit record. I did a partnership with Chidi. So I don't know about any other platform, but what I know about UdoX is that UdoX is takes artist relationships very serious. I know that. I don't know about any other. I'm just gonna speak on UdoX. You know, so that is already happening. That is already
Someone just said
happening.
UdoX has not started making money. But you see, we don't need to wait for UdoX to make money if we don't support UdoX and give the UdoX kind of numbers. Those are the partnerships we're talking about right now. Why does Mr. Eazi need to go and open a new streaming platform when UdoX is here? Chidi,
by the way, I don't have any plans on.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying now. Chidi is here. Chidi just all Chidi needs to do is put the calls together. Let's come together, because you see, if there are people that sit down and you can go, I always say this: the way I want to work from now on is I want to go to somewhere and have a meeting. I want to own as many companies as possible and have a meeting with Mr. Eazi on the company we own together, and I see what the numbers are. I say, nice one, bro. Go to another place, see what the numbers are. Nice one, we'll go. Because life has to be as easy as possible.
Yeah, like Mr. Eazi.
Like Mr. Eazi, no, like Don Eazi.
Yeah, like Don Eazi.
You know, so I'm very happy that we're having these kind of conversations, and we have industry heads, people that have done it, doing the kind of work, doing the kind of work that we want to see. You understand? So trust me, I think, like I always say, Eazi does it.
No, definitely. Shout out to Aldo. You know, you cannot overestimate, collaboration. That's a sure. If the industry, because like everybody we're doing business with, they know that, oh, these people are in competition. So I've gone to meetings where I sit down in the meeting, they say, oh yeah, we wanted to do a deal with this artist, but we said, oh, we're not going to do a deal with this artist, we're going to do a deal with you. I'm like, what? So you think you want to tell me that my brother is shit? So I'm the one that is the better artist. So you're doing it with me. Why? Because you love me. Are you my mommy? You're not my mommy. You don't love me. You're not my girlfriend. You don't love me. So you're just using it to play with my mind. You're putting us against each other. That's what's happening.
And you know what?
They're putting us against each other.
That competition, they try to. I think a lot of these labels, right, international labels, try to use that competition, try to use that trigger competition between us, right?
Yeah.
To make it look like we cannot partner. You understand?
Yeah.
Because why would you go and just say, okay, I didn't sign. If you want to sign. My time will come, I'll use it. It's like
competition, don't get me twisted. Competition is healthy because competition breeds innovation. Write it down. Competition breeds innovation. And information keeps you information. Information keeps you in formation. Competition breeds information, keeps you in formation.
Keeps you in formation.
That's why it's good to share information, because when you share information, you get information. And competition breeds innovation. So competition is perfect. Is Competition, healthy competition is good. Like for me, I'm like, hey, Davido did this song with this person. It's such a smash. Okay, now I can see that if Davido could do it, Davido no get too head. So me too, I can do it, right? And so he's what you cannot see, you cannot have. What you can't see, you can't have. So, but because I've seen Davido do it, I believe I can do it. Because I've seen Whiskey do it, I believe I can do it. Because I've seen Burna do it, I believe I can do it. Because I've seen Don Jazzy do it, I believe I can do it. Because I've seen Aldo do it, I believe I can do it. Because I've seen Techno do it, I believe I can do it. So, you feel me? So that helps. That helps. That keeps that keeps it going.
He says, I want to ask you a question. What value systems are very, very important, and the education. Yeah. Where did you get this education about the music industry? Because a lot of our artists in Nigeria are just about going for shows, getting what is coming from their streaming, and they don't care about any other business. If they get broke, they go broke. So how did you, because for some artists that might be watching right now and are not commenting, where did you get that information? How did you come to the point where you felt like,
so you're asking, where did I get the information to stay information?
To stay in information, yes. Where did you get the information to stay in information? Where did you get that from?
The thing is most creatives, and there's nothing wrong with it, most creatives want to create. That's their talent. God has given them the talent to create. Creation is not a joke. You know, because when you create, you're in direct. Listen to this. In the Bible, the Bible records that it said, and let us create man in our own image. And let us create man in our own image. So every time you create, you are exhibiting your godlike nature. Because you are creating out of nothing. So that's the God in you that creates. You feel me? That's the nature of God. The nature of God is to create. Let us create man in our own image. You feel me? So as a creative, you just want to create. And there's nothing wrong with creating. Don Jazzy said, oh, Eazi has been in tech. The first time I met Don Jazzy might not even remember. I was in an incubator program called 440.ng, and Don Jazzy came to speak about, this was in like 2014 or 2015. He came to speak about Maven. He came to speak about innovation and what he had done with my mentor Chika Wombi, who invested in Jobberman. At that time, I did not tell I did not walk up to Don Jazzy and say, hey, Don Jazzy, I'm a musician. No. What was I doing? I had started a tech company that was selling phones. I had phonetrader.ng. And so in that meeting, I was just sitting down watching, listening to Don Jazzy talking. I was listening to Don Jazzy talking. There's a picture of all of us, me, Don Jazzy, and all of that. And I did not even tell Don Jazzy anything about music. I was just doing my music on the side. You remember the first time me and you met? I was the biggest party boy in Ghana. I was doing shows. Yeah. And that's why we met.
And your music sucked at the time.
Bro, I wasn't a musician then. It was just a hobby. You feel me? I wasn't a musician then. Yeah. You feel me? So what am I trying to point at? What I'm trying to point at is, you know, God blessed me. I feel the Bible says, I know be pastor, but the Bible says the blessings of God make it rich and added no sorrow. And I always tell people that you do not go looking for purpose. You don't find purpose. Purpose is found in the journey. In the journey, you find purpose. If you look at the story of the prodigal son did not find purpose until he went on that journey, and he was at his lowest ebb. He found purpose. So someone like me, I'm first an entrepreneur. I'm first a tech entrepreneur. I am first a businessman. So I've been blessed with the fact that I have that talent. I'm a natural, like, I'm an entrepreneur. So I'm thinking like an entrepreneur. I'm investing in myself because I believe in myself. When I'm thinking about, you know, my ecosystem, Banku Music, emPawa, I don't give a fuck about glory. Kilonje glory. Give God the glory. For me, what was my business with glory? I don't care about, oh, maybe Joe Boy becomes bigger than me, or my next artist, maybe Sinati becomes bigger than me, or I just signed a Hausa artist, Namenj. Maybe Namenj becomes bigger than me. So fucking what? I'm building a company. I don't care about glory. I have nothing to prove. I've been doing this for 4 years. Like, I have nothing to prove to anybody. Just go and Google. Go and check Billboard magazine. Make I not talk too much. You feel me? So I'm an entrepreneur, and sometimes it's a blessing and a curse because I'm thinking about it from an entrepreneurial standpoint. And I studied engineering, so I'm an engineer and I'm obsessed with data. But at the end of the day, I have to also realize that this is creativity. So God blessed me with one day I woke up and I said, hey, I can also sing. This is my hobby, and people like it. Okay, so I'm still a businessman. The product just changed, but I'm still a businessman. So if you're a creative and that is what you have, the creativity, focus on the creativity, get better at the creativity, and find a team that you can work with. And if you don't find a team you can work with, just contact emPawa Africa. Contact Label Serve at emPawaAfrica.com. Go on our website, www.emPawaAfrica.com. Speak to somebody there and say, hey, I'm so creative, and this is my stats. Look at what I'm doing already. I want a partner to help me with the business side. Bro, I've been in 95% of all meetings that have to do with my career. I've been in 98% of all contracts I signed. I draw my marketing plan by myself and send it to my team to execute. But not everybody has both. Some people just have the entrepreneurial, some people have the creativity. I've been blessed enough to have a little bit of both. So if you're just creative, focus on your creativity and get a team to work with. We've had lovely people on this live today. We've had Baba Ayo, we've had T-Bills, we've had I think we had Taye as well. I remember one time Taye reached out to me and Taye said, hey, I want to do a deal with Yemi and so label. What do you think? This is what the deal is saying. Have I done a song with Yemi Alade? No, there's no Mr. Eazi and Yemi Alade song. But Taye reached out to me and said, hey, what do you think? We spoke the same way I've reached out to Davido, the same way I've reached out to D'banj, and D'banj has given me insight. The same way I've reached out to Chidi. So just know your strengths, really. I know that my strength is this, the entrepreneurial mind. And then I have talent in music, undeniable talent in music. But I know that the major strength is in this part. You know, there's something that Jay-Z said. They say they made Hove. Okay, make another Hove. If you do something once, it's a fluke. Maybe twice. You know, by the time you continue to do things, that means there's a process. So it's no more fluke, it's a process. So if you know creativity is your forte, focus on your creativity, get a good team. You can contact emPawa Africa. We'll look at you. We can do business. We do it. You can contact T-Bills. You know, you don't have to do both. You just need to kind of realize where your forte lies. I'm just blessed to have a little bit of both.
Okay, Mr. Eazi, I know for some reason, right? This night, I think that everyone that's on IG Live that has never heard you speak. Funny Bone has been saying, Mr. Eazi, call me, Ubi, call me. Don't worry, we will call you. No matter what they try to do here since. So I want to say I really appreciate you for coming on this IG live.
Yo, blessings.
But I know that when everything is properly in place, that conference was supposed to hold this week, but we had to move it a week so that we can tie up all these partnerships. I'm sure I'm going to call Chidi after this.
Maybe
Chidi
maybe Chidi fee sponsor this conference, because me, I need speaking fee. This talk with guys, I just want you guys to know that anything you heard right now is just 1.2% of the amount of wisdom that is in here. Wisdom is profitable to direct. In all you're getting, get wisdom. So if you want to get wisdom, you have to tune in to this conference we're gonna have, and there is no price that is too high for wisdom. There's no price that is too high for wisdom, because where you sit to read is where you stand to lead. Where you sit to lead. Where you sit.
Please, Abed, please. Where you sit
to read
is where you stand
to read. So the next time you guys are gonna hear me speak, you guys have to make sure you come correct with that money, because when you go to the pastor and the pastor is speaking some phronesis,
we pay their Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, when your pastor is spitting some phronesis or some rema, what do? You say, I tap into the anointing, and you sow a seed, right? You sow a seed. So the next time you guys hear me speak, you guys have to sow a seed to tap into this anointing, this excellent spirit.
No problem.
This spirit of wisdom. So make sure, say my check, don't ready. Chidi, contact Ubi Franklin. Pay Ubi Franklin.
Uduex, come on.
That check. Uduex.
Thank you so much.
Sponsored by Uduex. Partnership with emPawa. In signing out, go and listen to, there's so much information that I didn't say today. Wait for the conference. Also, go and listen to my song. It's called I No Go Give Up on You. If you listen to that song about 62 times, you'd see some wisdom, some secrets are hidden in the lyrics. So go and listen to my new song, I No Go Give Up on You. Keep living in an atmosphere of miracles. Until then, it's your boy Eazi.
No, Eazi, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you.